Are you on? All right. Hey, good morning.
I remember the name.
Our Charlie's ready. Hey, it's good to see everybody. Kind of a dreary morning, but you know what the heck, here we are. It's so good to see you all. We're very fortunate. Again, you know, I always think of this as our veterans breakfast, our opportunity to have Karen Tyler, who is the Director of Veteran Services, come out and talk with us, and an opportunity to thank all of you for, because most of you are veterans, and we do really appreciate all of the service that you've provided and continue to provide us. So it's a nice opportunity to see so many people together. Before I turn it over to Karen, I'm going to give you a quick update on the project. We're going good. We're really believing very firmly that the construction will be done by the end of November. There are still some things to accomplish, but everybody is working well together. So we've got the kids from Whittier are in and doing pieces that need to be done so that then, you know, Russ Stiles with Ambient Temperature, who is our general contractor, can then pick up from there. The Georgetown School Department, Mike Anderson's guys have been fabulous, working evenings and Saturdays to get things done. Apparently, they painted the exterior of the building yesterday when it was warm out, which will allow Russ to get the sign up. So we're, you know, I'm very pleased. I think it's really coming together. I think I was at the conference, a statewide conference last week, spoke, you know, extensively with the state program manager for councils on aging and senior centers. And this is a very unique project. It's really unusual to pull all of these pieces together to create this new center. It's going to, you know, and I just, you know, other towns are noticing, and it's really going to be a gem when we're done. But you know, everything, it's worth the wait. It's going to be worth the wait, and our target date to start the move will be December 5th. But I keep saying, look, I don't mind if it's December 5th or December 10th. I know it's going to be done right, and it's going to be what we need, you know. And to be able to bring, I said to Karen, you know, be able to bring all the services in place, you know, that when we have men's breakfast, the strength training group can come and be in another room. You know, we will be able to do this, and we'll be able to do more. So I'm very, very happy with the progress. I'm just very grateful for all the pieces, you know, and the willingness of people to partner, because that's been fabulous to see. My plan is that we'll have breakfast here Thursday, December 1st. Because I don't know what state we're going to be in, I'm not going to plan a speaker, but I just still want to be able to have breakfast and be able to say thank you to this staff, you know, kind of a farewell here in this space. But you know, we're going to have breakfast, so plan on Thursday, December 1st. And then once we get in, my thought was, because I thought the week before Christmas, we should be able to have unloaded some of our stuff. And we'll make a plan for an afternoon of, you know, coffee and punch and cookies, and invite people to come in and do sort of a soft opening, you know, let the public come in and see. And then in February, I've got the kids with the culinary arts, students from Whittier, coming back to do Valentine's Day luncheon for us. And I thought, well, they're going to have a bunch of people in. So that'll be a good opportunity to do a larger event. I met with Superintendent Jacobs and Ms. Harding, who is the director of the preschool program this week, and we were saying, you know, when we do something in February, that would give the preschool time to get the kids together to be able to, you know, join us, which would be kind of a nice intergenerational opportunity, and, you know, we'll give everybody time to sort of plan for that. So just lots of plans already in place. I think it's just going to be a marvelous, marvelous opportunity.
Let me mention one thing. There's so many people in town that really appreciate the hours and the time that you put into that, and I think you deserve a lot of
It's been a real joy, and it's been a joy to see it all. You know, as we planned and we pulled all of this together. That was, you know, when we had our town meeting votes and we saw that to come together. I mean, I was overwhelmed then. When I start to see, you know, to think that they painted the exterior, I was like, wow, you know, it's going to be real.
That's great.
So, thank you. Appreciate it. But, you know, and honestly, we're still working with the floor plan that Ed initially designed, and that gave the architectural jump. All those pieces. Great. Anyways, I'm sorry, Karen. That's all the time, but it's great to be able to update them. And
yeah, absolutely.
So, thank you for coming. Karen's been a wonderful resource, and we'll make sure I have her card in the office too, so after you know, her contact information. You can always get it from the office, and she'll give it again. So after she talks further, if there's anything else that you need, she's very well, ready to respond. I'm gonna go do some cleanup. Thank you, Karen. Turn right to you. Charlie's right here with the cameras. Third. Her most comfortable time talking to the camera. We do it to everybody. Well, we appreciate it because then Charlie gets it out to the community and, you know, other people who can't join us hear and learn.
Yep, absolutely. All right, so I'm Karen Tyler. I'm an Army veteran. When I was
Here I just remember going.
Come up a little closer.
all right, I'll speak a little bit louder. I'm an Army veteran. I joined the service in August of 2001, right before 9/11 happened. I was in basic training during that time. When I was in the service, I was a mental health specialist. I was stationed in Germany. And while I was there, I did pre-deployment screenings. So everyone that goes off to, you know, Iraq, Afghanistan, or whatnot, goes off to a war operation, goes through their different stations, and I am one of those stations. And so, so I would do a screening before they left. I also did one-on-one counseling and family counseling. So it was interesting. I was very, very busy, that's for sure. So in Massachusetts, we're unique in that every city and town has to have a veteran service officer, which is my title. And then we're even more unique because we form a district. So my office is in Ipswich Town Hall, but I cover 8 towns, including Georgetown. So I'm also available to come out to Georgetown, meet people in their homes. I do that all the time, to talk about benefits or to meet and see what people qualify for. One of the main reasons that every town has a veteran service officer is that we have a benefit for low income. It's called Chapter 115. And what it is, it's financial, medical, and or fuel benefit. So you can qualify for all 3, you might qualify for 1 out of 3. So what happens is we take a look at your income and assets, and then on that it goes into the statewide system and they determine, you know, what you qualify, how much you qualify. And so it's on a sliding scale. So one of the things is assets. So for a single person, your assets needs to be under $5,000. If it's a couple, it's $9,800, and then it's roughly about $2,000 for income. And so what that is, it includes your Social Security, your pension, annuities, things like that. And so they take all of those things into consideration. Also, how many people, how many dependents you have. It's also a benefit that is not only for veterans, but it's also for widows or widowers. So that's something you can, talk to your wives about, or something that, you might not qualify now, but in the future circumstances change it. So that's something to always think about. Another benefit that is important that I think people should know about is a VA benefit, which is called aid and attendance, and that's particularly important if, say you're aging in place or if you're going to assisted living. So again, it's a financial benefit. And one of the great things about it is what it does. So in regards to the assets, you need to have less than $80,000. So that's one of the things that they look at. The other thing that they look at is that you need to have 1 day during a wartime period. So that is a requirement in order to be eligible for this benefit. The other thing they look at is income, your monthly income. But what they do is you also submit a list of any medical expenses that you have. So it's anything out of pocket. It's including, your Medicare, any secondary insurance, co-pays, hospital stays, those types of things. And so what they do is they take those medical expenses and deduct them from your monthly income. So that way, you know, it lowers your monthly income so that you might qualify for this benefit. And I know that's something that I'm seeing a lot in my office, people are asking more about, so I just wanted to let you know that that is a benefit that's out there. I spent last week at a conference with the state, and the VA also did some seminars there. So there's a lot of benefits out there. It would take me a long time to go through all of them, and they're all, for each benefit, you know, there's different qualifications, eligibility, and there's always, you know, some sort of caveat so that, you know, if it is something that you have a question on, whether or not you qualify for it, come and see me, because there's a lot more to it than anything you can find on the internet or anything you can hear from, you know, a buddy of yours or somebody else that's, you know, trying to tell you about a certain benefit. Because there's a lot more research that needs to go, you know, that needs to be involved. Anybody have any questions? Yes.
On the VA, I didn't realize, but, I mean, I go up to Manchester and use their VA up there, the hospital. And you can go to any VA hospital in the country.
Yep, so you would transfer, so you would have to let them know, you have to let the VA know.
I used to go into Boston, but the distance is just about the same from here. It's a much nicer ride up there.
Yeah, it's a lot easier.
I think the service is a little better up there too. But that's another story.
Right, yep. So, yeah, and everybody has their preference. There's also an outpatient that's in Gloucester. I know a lot of people use that.
I've been using the VA since 1947.
Okay,
69 years.
all right, so you,
Not
yeah.
for everything, but I mean, I started going up to Manchester in 1998, sometime in there.
Yeah.
I should say 1980s. I've never had a complaint all the years. I got a medical discharge, so I'm disabled 10%, but that's been a big help too, because if you go in, you're almost at the top of the list.
Right. Yeah, and so that's something else that that I assist with through my office is a service-connected disability. One of the most popular ones I'm seeing now is for hearing loss. So that's something that, you know, happens on, you know, a lot of times later on in life. But the thing is that, you know, if you were a gunner or artillery or something like that, you know, when you get up, you know, when you're 25, you're not looking at hearing aids, but as you get older, the fact that you were in artillery is a contributing factor to hearing loss later on in life. So you could come and see me and I would help you fill out all the paperwork and we would talk about what you did while you were in the service, what might have contributed to what's going on with you later in life. And they're constantly updating things, like now they have, you know, now they're looking at Agent Orange, they're looking at Camp Lejeune, things like that. So it's something that's constantly evolving. So that's why it's good to check in every once in a while to see if something's changed or something that you didn't qualify for before, you now qualify. So, you know, it's something that's always evolving. You know, it's hard to keep up. I'm constantly on the website or contacting my resources because it's not something that you can do alone.
Well, they've improved so much over the past few years too. Well,
Yeah.
we had a lot of problems on trying to get appointments and so on, but
Yeah, that's the biggest thing that I've heard. What I see is that once people get in, the care they receive is excellent. And, you know, I go to Bedford VA, I get excellent care. And so that was one of the complaints that they had was, you know, it's difficult to get in the first time, but then once you're in there enrolling, it goes very, very well. And they're constantly improving that. And the other thing too is that, I mean, you read about the VA or you hear about it on TV. The VA is federal, so just because they're talking about the VA doesn't mean they're talking about Boston, you know, Massachusetts or New England. You know what I mean? A lot of these complaints or issues, you know, they're in the Midwest or places like that where there's not as many resources. I mean, we're fortunate to live in an area that has the best hospitals, that have the best doctors. You know what I mean? A lot of those doctors are coming through, you know, the VA, and so that's one of the things that we should feel lucky about, because you know, we have those excellent doctors. All right. Anybody? What? I know. I figured there would be more questions. Do you?
I'll just pass one thing on that happened to me a few years ago. Terry Hart, first of all, I had hearing issues as well. My hearing doctor indicated and wrote out on a slip the reason for it. I was in the Air Force and flying B-52 bombers with radar. So, and often on the flight line. So we got on the flight line where they're revving up their engines and stuff. And I lost some hearing that way. And I didn't think I could do anything about it. And then over the years, it got progressively worse. I spoke to Terry Hart, and we got it through, and I got my hearing aid and everything else. So, thank goodness.
Yeah, exactly. So it's always worth, you know, if you're in a situation like that, or if there's, you know, if there's anything else going on. Service-connected disability is something that, you know, is sometimes hard to navigate through. So, so I'm happy to assist with that. Another thing I wanted to talk about is burial benefits. There's been a lot of questions about that. So if you pass away, you're entitled to either a headstone, a marker, or a medallion. And so that's something, so one of the most important things you guys can do is know where your DD-214 is. That's your discharge paper. Make sure that your next of kin knows where that paper is, because they're gonna need that for anything that happens. If you don't have your DD-214, come and see me and I can put the request in, so that way you have it accessible, and so it's ready to go when you do. So
you don't have to be buried at a military cemetery, I think.
That's correct, yep. So we do have a couple of state cemeteries and national cemetery. So if you want to be buried in a private cemetery, so you would work it out with the superintendent of the cemetery, and we would send the paperwork into the VA. They would deliver it to the cemetery, and we'd be able to get it in that way.
I have a tombstone down in Bourne, the Veteran Cemetery down there, with
Yep.
my name on it. Haven't got the date yet, though.
Yeah.
Don't want to fill in that blank. Out of Bourne.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or if you know somebody that that is already buried, has, you know, in a private cemetery, has everything all set up, has a tombstone or whatnot, you can get a medallion, and you can put the medallion on that tombstone.
The medallion. Is that
Medallion.
what the flag goes?
No, so I'm gonna leave some of the stuff to you guys. So this is kind of hard to see. So this is what the medallion looks like. And so you can get it in different sizes, but it has your branch of service. So that's good. It's a great indicator, and that's something that you can get it put on.
Is that a marker in the ground, or you put it on your tombstone?
That you put on your tombstone. The marker is what goes in the ground, like the foot plate.
No, I was thinking of, you see something that you stick in the ground, and there's a medallion on it that says.
Yep. Yep. So you.
Do you put out the markers for the flags? How do you?
So the markers are out, so in order to get, so for Memorial Day, and you would get the flags, put at all the gravestones and
But
stuff.
what I'm
It's-
speaking of, I got an uncle that he's a World War II veteran in Boston. I don't know if you cover Boston, but I don't think he's got the thing that they put the flag, you know, a lot of them, they have some. Sometimes if you remember of like the Legion or the VFW, they'll put out, you know, I think there's others that just say you're a veteran or something like that.
Right, and so those you would get from,
Still alive.
I can help you order them and stuff. Those you would get from like a flag, you know, a private flag place. And so if it's something that you need, you can go through me and I can get a discount on it. But that's something that we would get through a flag company.
I donated my body to Harvard Medical. There was no burial, no nothing.
What's that?
I donated my body to Harvard Medical for research, or
Yeah.
whatever.
Boy, are they gonna get cheated.
I get that zip problem now.
How much heat they need to incinerate?
Yeah.
But that's, you know, simple way to get rid of it. I told him in here, yeah, my throat, call him up. Get a taxi, I'll go to college. But, you know, it saves a lot of bucks.
There you go.
If they don't want it, then it's their fault,
Yeah.
not mine.
It's a good thing you're dead when they get it, because they don't treat you with much respect.
And then,
At that point, yeah.
they say they sell a lot of patents to a lot of people.
All right.
Yeah, I heard that.
There you go. You're being helpful for future generations.
Sure, I'll be here forever.
What about if you were in mines, demolition, and booby traps?
I'm sorry?
What about if you were in mines, demolitions, and booby traps?
Okay. And so,
That is, and you lost your hearing. Can you get anything?
we can certainly apply for it. So if you're in a situation or nobody that's in a situation like that, absolutely get in touch with me. You know, we'll have a conversation about it. I'll help fill out the paperwork. We'll submit it and, you know, see what happens from there. But absolutely.
I have hearing aids. I get hearing aids from the VA.
Yeah?
But I'm wondering about if I couldn't get 10%. I should have looked into it a long time ago, but I didn't.
Yeah. That's something that we can look into now. It's not, you know, it's not too late. I do it all the time, a couple times a week maybe. So, so that's something that we can absolutely get my card. I'll leave my, you know, I'll leave you with my card before I go.
I have my records and everything.
Okay. Did you see Terry Hart when he was here? Did you work with Terry Hart?
Terry Hart?
No. He was the Veteran Service Officer before me. Nope. So yeah. So let's connect and we'll link up and take it from there.
If a veteran was discharged from the service with a medical discharge, don't they, the doctor sets your disability percentage?
So
Do they do that today? I know they did back when I got out, 47.
yeah. So there's a difference between DOD and the VA.
Well,
They don't always talk to each other. So.
I asked the doctor, he set me for 60% when I got out. And I said, how come it's so high? Wait till you get to the VA.
Yeah.
Or not.
Exactly. Yep.
Well, back then, they were cutting them as much as they could.
Yep. Yeah. There's a lot of claims going in, and a lot of new.
I didn't know how to fight it. They cut me back to zero at one time. I went through the VA, the PAD, and the VFW. Got back to 10%.
Yep. And there's appeals and, you know, notice of disagreement. So there's things in place that you can go through if it's something that, you know, you can ask for an increase. So there's steps that can be taken.
Well, if you're gonna get an increase, it would still go by what income you had too, right?
For disability?
I think the VA would take care of that. I mean, they would decide what your disability is on your income if you're asking for an increase, I think, wouldn't they?
No, so service-connected disability has nothing to do with your income. It's not income-based. So it's strictly, service-connected disability has to do with physical ailments and whether or not they happened in the service or there's a link to, a contributing factor to what's going on now. Any other questions? All right, well, I'm always, were you gonna say something?
No.
No? Okay. So I'm always available. I'm at Ipswich Town Hall. My phone number is 978-356-3915. I'm gonna leave cards. You can also get the cards through or information on the website. If you go to the Town Hall website, it connects you to me, or if you go directly to Eastern Essex Veterans, I'll pop up there and we can connect. I'm going to leave some information here if you want to take a look at it, if you want to grab it, that's great. I'm same hours as Town Hall, which is late on Mondays until 7 o'clock, and then Tuesday through Thursday, 4.5 day on Friday, which is 12 o'clock. All
The
right.
sheets have your phone number on it.
Yep, I can get that for you. So what I'm leaving here is about the Chapter 115 benefit that I started talking about. That was what I first spoke about. Also about burial benefits and markers and medallions for sites. So that's what I have here today. But and also that aid and attendance benefit that I was talking about. That had to do with your income and if you needed assistance with medical issues. All right, so I'll leave those up here so you can grab them if you want them. I also want to mention that Friday the 11th is Veterans Day. So that's terrific, happy Veterans Day. I'll also be there. So it's at 11 o'clock at the Harry Merch, sorry. And so everyone can meet there for a ceremony at 11. All right?
And if it's inclement weather.
Oh, okay. So if it's bad weather, it's going to be held at the fire station. Okay. All right.
Good job.
All right. Thank you.